Hey kids, Treacle here. Welcome back. Today we are going through the final part of my Mariah adventure. We're going to pick up where we left off. If you haven't seen parts 1 and 2, go and check those out. We are going to finish up now with 2005 videos and photos, the final times I spent time in the presence of the great, the wonderful Miss Mariah Carey. Here we go. It's now 2005. I'm in the swing of this. I understand the situation. I think that Mariah's going to release an album or a single. I get on the phone to New York. I find out her promotional schedule, which hotel she's going to be at, which show she's going to be doing, things like that. March 2005 was an incredibly amazing month for me. A lot of things happened. I had just turned 21. Mariah was coming to London to promote the album, The Emancipation of Mimi, a classic. There was a lot happening. Her schedule was crazy. I knew what her schedule was. I knew where she was going to be, but I couldn't go to every single thing. This particular promotional tour, we did a lot. We covered a lot of ground. We got to a lot of things. Oh yeah, these photos. One surprise was that Mariah actually filmed part of the video for her monster hit, We Belong Together, in London. I think it was the Baglioni Hotel, but I could be wrong. I'm sure somebody will correct me. We were outside for a long time, hoping maybe she'd come out, sign some autographs, things like that. On this particular day, she did not, but it became very apparent to us that she was filming something for the music video because We Belong Together was blaring out so loud. She had clearly taken over a part of the hotel, and I just remember us being outside and that song playing over and over and over again. And you know, we were happy. We were like, oh my god, when this video comes out, we're going to remember being outside the hotel when she was filming it. That felt pretty awesome. So here she is inside filming the video for We Belong Together. That particular day, my friends and I waited outside the hotel for 12 long hours and Mariah did not come out. She was inside, she was working, she was doing press, she was filming, she was doing everything she needed to do. But I was surrounded by friends, good company. I don't think it rained. If it did, we had umbrellas. It was like a stakeout, because this is what I did. We would camp outside the hotels, hoping for a chance to get an autograph or a photo, but it didn't happen on that day. However, on another day, someone was really kind to come outside and say, look, Mariah's not coming out, at least not anytime soon, but I'll take some things in if you want to get an autograph. So I gave my album, The Emancipation of Mimi, and I put a little poster on there and said, could you please sign it to Matt with the E, because I spell my name M-A-T-T-E, and then later on it came out. This was, I believe, Capital FM Awards. Mariah was picking up an award, and yeah, it was inside a hotel or a function, or it was inside a venue, I don't know, and I ended up getting in there somehow, yeah, got a photo with that. I think this was my first photo, just me and Mariah. It's not my best photo, and she's wearing her shades, but I mean, come on, it's a photo with Mariah Carey. I'm not complaining. All right, so Top of the Pops, one of my favorite stories. Mariah was on Top of the Pops to perform It's Like That and also pre-record We Belong Together. We knew somebody who worked for the BBC. So there was a very sweet girl, I believe her name was Rachel, and she hooked us up with tickets. So she, myself, and 3 other friends, making a group of 5, went down to the BBC studios. We didn't line up. We met our friend Rachel, who came out and she took us in. Now, we signed in and then we went to go through to the studio. We tried to get into the studio and we get told no. The fire marshal says no. They're at capacity, it's a health and safety risk. We're in the building, we've signed in, we've got our passes, but we cannot get into the studio. What happens next is Mariah comes out of her dressing room and she comes along the corridor and we're gutted. We're so disappointed because we can't get into the studio. So we are gonna watch Mariah walk past us and go in. So we're really disappointed. But because we've been spending a lot of time around Mariah on these promotional tours, not just this particular one, but in the couple of years leading up to it, she was getting to know people pretty well. My small circle of friends, she was starting to know us by name and by face. And when she came up to us, she stopped and said, hey, and she had a chat, and she'd been saying a few times, we need to have a moment, we need to do something together. We were like, yes, let's do something, let's have a moment. She kept seeing us, we got a few photos, a few autographs, but we didn't really get anything more than that, and we would love to have more time with her. So she said, are you coming in? Are you coming into the studio for the performance? You're not gonna miss the performance. So we said, no, we're not allowed in. They said no. She took one of my friends by the hand, follow me, and we formed a human chain, and she walked us straight through, past security, fire marshal, whoever. No one is saying no to Miss Mariah Carey, and she walks us straight into the studio by hand, and we stand at the side and we're watching her perform on Top of the Pops from the side where her team are at. So here she is performing It's Like That on Top of the Pops in this amazing glittery sequin backless dress. So Mariah finishes performing on stage, everyone's happy. As soon as she was done and her team stepped out, we stepped out with them. So we're back in the hallway. Mariah says, so are we gonna have a moment? Let's do something. So we said, oh my God, yes. What's happening? You tell us. She again forms a human chain, takes us by hand and pulls us towards the direction of her dressing room, and she took us backstage into her dressing room. Here is a very young me backstage at Top of the Pops with my friends and Mariah. We were just chilling with her backstage, hanging out, and we got to spend about half an hour with her. There was a camera crew following her around. They were doing, it was from E, and I think it was called Mariah Carey Uncut. And they had been following her around Europe and actually in America. It was all about the release of the album, The Emancipation of Mimi. So this camera crew were there, and we were hoping that maybe we would end up with some footage that made the documentary, and we did. Where Mariah is sat, that area, that's where we hung out after her performance. Where she is laying, where her pillow is, that is where I was sat. You'll see me later. You'll see me in a quick minute. So she finishes her performance, and here we go. There's Mariah leading us into her dressing room. I'm there on the far left. So we had this chat with her for a little while. There I am talking to her. There she is looking at me. Mariah's looking at me. Mariah was gorgeous, so friendly. It was really great. The camera crew was there with their bright light, and they captured it, and it made it feel a little less intimate maybe. But hey, we ended up with some footage, and that was amazing. It's great to have these images and to have that memory. Then the camera crew left, and they gave us a bit of time alone with her. We just spoke to her about the album and memories with her and why we loved certain songs on the album and things like that. And someone in the group said to her, I hope you're done now, I hope you're done for the day, I hope you get some time off. And she said, yeah, I just have to go, I'm having dinner, but I'm having dinner with a friend, a special friend. And someone in her team was kind of hovering around and was listening in and felt like Mariah might divulge too much information perhaps, and kind of interrupt and said, yeah, but we're not saying who. No, enough. And we all went, oh, okay. And Mariah went, yeah. Waited for that person to go, and then went forwards and said, it's not going to be in the papers. It's very quiet, but I'm having dinner with George Michael. And we were like, oh my God, but had to keep it quiet. We couldn't, scream or anything or get too excited. The dinner with George Michael was very low key. There wasn't a big splash about it in the press. There was, however, one picture that ended up in the papers, and I didn't see it right away. I didn't see it for the longest time, it felt like. But when this photo came out, that felt pretty cool, because here she is in the same outfit. So she was with us backstage at Top of the Pops, and then she left to go have dinner with George Michael. We knew that because she told us, she shared that information with us. So that felt like we were in on a secret with Mariah, like, oh, she's gonna go have dinner with George Michael. And then a little time afterwards, this one photo appeared in the press. It's still March 2005. Mariah is still in London promoting the Emancipation of Mimi album, but it's also the month of Mariah's anniversary. Remember, she doesn't have birthdays, she has anniversaries. She's a smart woman. So Mariah is having a party to celebrate her anniversary, and I think, if I remember correctly, it was during the backstage moment at Top of the Pops. We had learned about the party through my connections and contacts. I had got myself and my friends onto the guest list. And I'm pretty sure it was during the backstage moment. Mariah kind of referenced it, or maybe one of us brought it up and kind of fished. It wouldn't have been me, I wouldn't have been confident enough or brave enough to. There was some kind of discussion and something about give your names, leave your full names with someone, or email someone, and we'll get you on, we'll put you on the list, we'll see you there. Mariah's anniversary party arrives. We play it completely uncool. We get to the club, I think it was Tantra nightclub in London. We get there super early, we're at the club like 8 p.m, 9 p.m, we turn up and we say we're on the guest list, and security say, well, which one? Turns out there's 14 different guest lists, and I don't know which one we're on, and they're looking at us like they just know Mariah's here and they're trying to get in. And I'm trying to tell them, no, we're on a guest list through her management or her fan club. I can't even remember which guest list we were on or how exactly I achieved that, but we were expecting to be on a guest list. We wouldn't just turn up and try and get in and chance our arm. We wouldn't have done that. So we don't know which of the 12, 13, 14 guest lists we are on, so we're trying to work it out. Plus we're really early and looking really keen, so we just scream as like fans trying to get into Mariah's party. We give our names, we ask them to go and check. Someone goes away and checks and comes back and gives the security guard, who's given us a bit of grief, gives him a tap on the shoulder, whispers something into his ear, and then things changed. Then all of a sudden these gold wristbands come out, they get put on us, and we get taken straight through. Turns out Mariah had put us on her guest list. Mariah didn't turn up until she was done working, doing whatever she was doing for the day. She turned up at like 1 a.m, 2 a.m, I can't even remember, but it was late. We didn't see Mariah arrive at the party because we were already inside, but then these photos turned up the next day or a couple of days later, and she looks amazing. Her dress, the photos don't do it justice. I heard rumors, but we heard that the silk gown, all the diamonds were valued at £1 million or something stupid. I don't know whether to believe it. I could believe it. I could easily believe it. It is Mariah. It was dripping in diamonds. Here she is just chilling out, and she had cameras there. The E crew were there again. So even when she's at her anniversary party, she's still on, she's still working. We were determined to not be that close and not be able to party with her. So we just had to kind of chance our arm. So there was this VIP area that we were in, we had our gold wristbands, and then there was this VIP, this little bubble area, and there was a couple of different entrances into it, and one by one we just took a plunge and stepped forward past security and tried it. So I'm there like getting really nervous and like, trying to build up the courage to do it, and I half stepped, half got pulled by one of my friends, and then we're in the bubble, and before we knew it, we're there partying with Mariah. So here are a few photos. Yep, you guessed it, with my disposable camera. I took it to the nightclub, I took it to the club. They played Fantasy Remix, we were drinking Cristal champagne, we were dancing with Mariah, and we had little tidbits of conversation with her. She was so amazing, she was so sweet, she did cut loose, she did kick back and enjoy herself, and it was like a pinch yourself moment. This was a really special moment for me to enjoy because I had just turned 21 a couple of weeks before. Mariah was having her anniversary, so here we were in London celebrating our shared anniversary month and the amazing success she was having with her album. So it was amazing to be at this party with her. I did manage to get a photo with just me and Mariah. This, as it turned out, is my last photo I have of me and Mariah, but it's the best one. I absolutely love it. There's a very young, very fresh-faced 21-year-old me, and I'm there with Mariah. She's in her floor-length silk gown adorned with thousands of pounds worth of diamonds, a glass of Cristal champagne, and we just pop together for a quick casual photo. It was an amazing experience, and it was definitely a night that I will never forget. After this time, I pulled back from the scene. I was 21. I needed to start to think about my career and take my work more seriously. So I stopped going to London when Mariah was in and doing the whole hotel scene and TV studios and things like that. But I knew I could never top what I had already had with Mariah in terms of moments, autographs, photos, and things like that. I still love Mariah. I still enjoy her music. I still support her and follow her. She is my queen and she always will be. So these days I have my one photo on display. I have my little book with memories and bits and pieces in here, which is fun to look back on. And I have my newsletter, which I showed you guys before. And also I have my photo with her, and there is the gold wristband that got me into the VIP section. That's all for today, and that brings an end to my adventures with Mimi. Thank you so much for joining me. That was very fun and nostalgic for me to look back and enjoy. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers, thanks a lot.